Welcome to Donington Park. It's the last round of 2017. The Thundersport 500 freshman riders are out on the grid. Not so many of them here this weekend. A few have thrown at the scenery over the course of the year, but the freshman class basically for novices to the sport for this year, and the reason they're on their own grid as well, largely due to the fact that we have so many Thundersport 500s out there that we can't possibly fit them all on the same grid. Steve Shrubsall we're on board with here. Immediately being overtaken, wrapped up second place in the championship pretty much yesterday. So it was all done ahead of Ryan Meaden, the champion, not out to play. He's got other ideas and focusing now on 2018. That was Adam Campion. So the top three basically sorted. Batman moved on to the Golden Era Supersport class. So he doesn't have anything to play in this one, but although he will secure fourth in the championship. So basically the top five of the championship are all sorted out. Let's have some fun. Let's see who wins the last couple of races of the season. Syd is alongside me in the commentary box, and although we haven't got millions of 500s to commentate on here, Syd, all around it has been a very successful season for the class.
Well, absolutely. What you have to remember is the ones, a lot of the guys who no longer freshmen, of course, because they've basically done the whole season. And if they're not going to figure in the top three of the championship for a podium place of the championship, you know, some of them have moved up to the main grid when there's been spaces to do so. And it does mean, I mean, obviously you do get sort of a few stray away because there's broken bikes, the odd broken bone, and the odd broken wallet too, of course. You know, although this is probably the cheapest racing on the planet, racing's not cheap, unfortunately, which is why all the riders could do with help sponsor-wise and everything else. And as I said to a lot of the guys over the years, the best thing to do is get lots of small sponsors. So if you're like number 178, then have a club 178, and the remit is to get 178 quid out of 178 couples. Now how good would that be? Oh, somebody's gone for a ride there on the who's that in front of Shrubsall, Steve?
That was Josh Hipwell, I think.
Oh, right.
He got off to a decent start, but obviously got a bit of a problem. So
well, his sat-nav sent him the wrong way.
He's okay. He's still in there in second place with the orange bib on, Josh Hipwell. But yeah, just dropped down a place. In third there is 179, running the same colours as 178 Steve Shrubsall, and running the same sponsorship as well. So I gather they'll be together here this weekend. The Bexhill Gearboxers, that is Billy Perkins, number 179. There's one of the super team riders who's just gone off over in the far corner there. Don't worry too much about that. So it is Steve Shrubsall that has the lead then. Josh Hipwell, having had that mistake, is starting to close in again though on Shrubsall as they make their way into Robert's chicane, named after the late Robert Burnell. Of course, we're on the national circuit here this weekend. Across the line we go then, and Hipwell now sets his sights back on trying to get through on Steve Shrubsall. Is he going to do it into turn one? It looked like he was very close to. Simon Burgess there is number 53. There is Perkins. Number 16 is James Bailey. Just getting a bit of movement there from his 500. Bit of a miserable day here yesterday at Donington Park, and there are still a few damp patches out on circuit, so you do have to be a touch careful. There you can see some on the inside line of the old hairpin.
Yeah, there's not too many people on pit wall there in shorts and t-shirt. It's a little bit on the chilly side, and I wouldn't be that surprised if you know, a couple of guys haven't gone out on wets, because you particularly burn them up too much on these machines. They only produce sort of 52 brake horsepower, so they're not spinning the rear wheel up or anything. We've got a yellow flag there, but that could be anything, of course.
On board here with the race leader for now then, Steve Shrubsall, as he makes his way onto the back straight. I fear that you might just see someone going past him in a moment. Yep, into the slipstream and gone. Josh Hipwell then retakes the lead of this race. Number 46 breaking down into the chicane. So Hipwell back into first. A good battle going on here for third though. There is Burgess, number 16 Bailey, and then number 179 Billy Perkins. Behind these guys is their number 292 Ryan Meaden, who will finish this season's championship up in 3rd overall.
There's a dust-up going on there in that second battle, aren't there?
Yeah, they're all looking to try and take a pot home, aren't they, before they return for the winter. Good old battle going on, actually. That for 3rd. Josh Hipwell at the moment, his lap time's just a bit too much here for Steve Shrubsall, trying to keep up with him desperately, but it's not quite working out for him. Here we can see Burgess, though.
I'm surprised that anybody's still got an orange vest on, to be honest. I thought they were all, like, fully licensed up by now.
Well, Josh Hipwell we've not seen too much of this year. I've not personally heard of Billy Perkins, so I suppose he's probably rightfully got an orange bib on. I can't recall a time this year where Steve Shrubsall has had a teammate. A bit further round the circuit here is 124. Lewis Booth from Sale. And he's currently just at the back of his pack, so it's Hipwell that leads there, number 46, rider from Doncaster, from Shrubsall, from St Leonard's. Then 3rd was Burgess from Lincoln. Then, just going in behind him, number 16, Ashford B's James Bailey. So there is Shrubsall then in 2nd place. Just looking like now he's not going to be able to hold on to the race leader. In fact, race leader is gone, so his teammate, who's just up behind, is now closing that gap down a bit. Billy Perkins, Tenterden.
Do you reckon that's near St Leonard's? Tenterden, down near Hastings?
No idea, Sid.
No. Do have some strange names down there, so it could be.
What's strange about the name Billy Perkins?
No, I didn't say Billy Perkins. Tenterden.
Oh, no. I'm only messing. So yes, here we are then. No change really out front. Hipwell away with it. They set these 500s off at different times, kind of like an old handicap race, if you like. Split grid. And so you'll see a few Super Team machines out there. You just saw one there, number 26, Reuben Hopkins. Now I'm presuming that because that bike of Reuben Hopkins looks very much like the bike that was winning a lot of the Super Team races. So I'm imagining that that is Luke Hopkins' brother of some description that is out to play on his brother's machine. I can't be sure about that, but
Yeah, it will be, won't it?
there he is, just about to be overtaken then by these guys on the 500. So the question is though, Sid, isn't it? Is he a teammate of Shrubsall's here? Or has Shrubsall let him have a go on his spare bike? Now, if the latter is the case, he ain't going to be too pleased to see him popping past him in a moment, is he? Here is your race leader then.
He maybe won't be sharing a camper with him in the future then.
Ryan Meaden now, though, has just gone underneath. Billy Perkins, he's wiped them both down. And that's down into the old hairpin. What a shame there. Billy Perkins sort of looks away as if to say, naughty boy. And he just lost the front there, and unfortunately wiping out Billy Perkins. Well, Steve Shrubsall has got no idea how close he came to being collected by a couple of those there. That really does reduce the numbers in the field, I'm afraid. Hipwell it is then with a pretty handsome lead of about 6-7 seconds from then Shrubsall. There is Hipwell. And now the battle for 3rd is just between 2 riders, Simon Burgess and James Bailey. What a shame. That was looking like it might get a bit tasty there as they closed in on Shrubsall. Last lap flag is out though for Joshua Hipwell. There is Shrubsall in 2nd, having gone past one of the Super Team KTM machines. I think that's Linden Leatherland he's just gone past. And there is Burgess, he's getting a bit close as well. Burgess and Bailey into turn 1 for 3rd.
So is Josh Hipwell related to Dean Hipwell? That's what I want to know.
Sid, I'm not sure on that. Hipwell is a name that has been around in motorsport for a while. I'm sure we've asked this before. Yeah, Dean is here, yeah, but just because they've got the same surname doesn't mean...
And they're both here.
Well, true. Maybe Hipwell is a very popular name up north.
Are you assuming it is up north?
Well, he's from Doncaster.
Oh, right, yeah. Of course. Yeah, he's from Doncaster.
Simple process of elimination, that.
We do know where Doncaster is, don't we?
Yes, we do. I've got absolutely no idea at all, to be honest, whether Joshua here is related to Dean. What I can tell you is that he has just won the first race. The checker flag is out, and the first freshman race here on the final day goes to Hipwell. Rather convincingly there. Not a lot of challenges coming his way. Across the line there, Shrubsall takes second place as well. So, well, that's your lot. Down into Park Ferme. We'll look forward to race 2 and hopefully it'll be a bit closer than that. Josh Hipwell wins it from Shrubsall and Simon Burgess. James Bailey 4th, Lewis Booth in 5th. And confirmation there of Perkins DNF down at the old hairpin. There's the top 3 on the podium. We'll be back with race 2 in just a few moments. It's the final race then of 2017 for the Thundersport 500 freshman. Quite a few pollers earlier on. In fact, we only had 5 finishes in the end. Number 46, second on the grid there. Josh Hipwell went on to win from Steve Shrubsall, currently on pole position number 178. As Syd rightly pointed out about the Hipwell brothers, or we say they're brothers, but I don't know that for sure. They know each other, and they've definitely come along together. What relation they are, I don't know. I did just do some little looks on Google, and it looks like they both entered the 500 endurance race under the name Team Kirk with somebody else as well. So that would suggest that they're definitely relatives. I don't know whether they're brothers, cousins, or whatever.
Both from Donington.
Yes, hailing from Doncaster, much like the great Phil Doody.
Oh, Lord Doodington.
Lord Doodington.
Of Doodington Hall.
Yes, that would be the one. Okay, so let's see how we can get on here for the final race. A bit of pride at stake. Can anyone close up that gap to Josh Hipwell? Steve Shrubsall looks like the only rider that can do that, and immediately he's on terms with him. It is drier, so any riders that were perhaps a bit nervous with the damp patches in race 1 will be pleased to see that they're gone. There is Billy Perkins. He'll be hoping he keeps well clear of Ryan Meaden this time around, as Steve Shrubsall here challenges Hipwell immediately into Copper's corner. Nicely done. Now onto the back straight then. And he has the lead from Hipwell. In third place is Burgess, then it's Meaden, then it's Bailey, and then Perkins. Immediately fighting back though goes Josh Hipwell into the final chicane.
Talking about the Sir Phil Lord Dude himself, I need to apologise to him. I told him you were here somewhere. He's been walking around looking for you all weekend.
Oh, here at Donington?
Yeah.
Well, of course, as most of you will probably know, I'm not here. I am commentating on this after the event. As we speak right now, I am actually in Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
So I couldn't really be further away. But anyway, I send you my best regards, Phil.
That's good of you to do this, like via telephone all the way from Australia.
Live from Australia.
In the middle of the night for you, bless you.
Yeah, no, that just wouldn't have happened.
Such a star.
Josh Hipwell leads from Steve Shrubsall in second place, Burgess in third. There is Ryan Meaden in fourth place, then it's James Bailey, number 16, and Billy Perkins. Nice to see them all bunched up together still after a couple of laps. So the slightly drier conditions, albeit windy and cold, has closed this gap up somewhat. Onto the back straight they go. Obviously all of them identical machines, all of them Honda CB500s. We did, when Thundersport 500s first came into play, see one or two riders opt for the Kawasaki. It's obviously still open to use the Kawasaki 500, and likewise Suzuki, but...
there's one out here today.
Is there?
In the main, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Funnily enough, Joe Barton was one of the first riders to come out on a Kawasaki 500. I don't know whether it's just because their parts are not readily available, or whether they're just not quite as
they're not as fast.
There you go.
In actual fact, we're going to ask the riders' reps to put to a vote to allow a different front sprocket, because you know they're limited. They can't change the front sprocket. They can only use change the rear sprocket on these, on the Hondas, or actually on the Thundersport 500s that's in the regs. But they reckon that with a change of front sprocket, you could actually make them almost equivalent to a Honda. So it's a possibility.
Okay. Well, there we go. One presumes, though, if you were to go to a vote, for most people that had Hondas, they'd probably say no.
Well, I don't know, because to be fair, the protagonists that inhabit the paddock of Thundersport 500, although they're a bunch of nutters, they're actually quite a fair lot, and I think they would actually enjoy seeing some quackers in there.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I think it would be nice.
Well, it would be, wouldn't it? A bit of a challenge for someone, anyway.
Yeah.
If someone fancies it. Hipwell it is that leads this race, number 46. Challenging for second there is Simon Burgess. Nice move there. Not a lot of room into Redgate corner as he tries to challenge
Brett put his arm up. Not Brett, what's his name? He's just put his arm up. That looks like Brett Haley's levers, doesn't it?
I think you're starting to lose the plot.
Yeah, I probably am.
The good news is, folks, this is the last round of the season. We do put Syd to bed for hibernation in just a couple of days' time, and then he'll pop out again after the NEC bike show. I presume, Syd, as we've spoken about this before, for anyone that's tuning in, Thundersport will have a usual stand over at the NEC.
A bonanza stand in Hall 3. It'll be amazing.
All three halls?
No.
Sorry.
In Hall 3.
All in Hall 3? I thought you meant in all three halls.
No.
You really are spreading your wings a bit there.
Yeah, if you can't understand me, what chance have I got?
Okay.
Get the subtitles out.
Hall 3 then, for those that are interested, as you see here, Trubsall and
Yeah, just to the right of the stage a bit.
Oh, okay.
Main stage, so you'll find us there.
Good race this. A lot closer than race 1. Burgess is getting his nose well stuck in, and Josh Hipwell is being given quite a bit more to think about than he was earlier. They are actually closing in on a few super teams up ahead that started at a different pattern to them. Now, will they play a big part or not? In 4th place is Billy Perkins, and the rest of the field just struggling a bit. The likes of Bailey, Meaden, Parry, Liam Sylvan, and Lewis Booth, and Patrick Belton. They can't quite keep up with this group at present, but these are the top 3 then, fighting for the win. Hipwell, Burgess, and Trubsall. Burgess set to finish the championship this year inside the top 5. And there is the first of the super teams that they're coming up on, as they did in race 1. Ruben Hopkins may somehow find a way of getting themselves up to Hipwell. Well, there's a nice move from Trubsall immediately, although it looks like Burgess isn't giving that one up too easily. Onto the back straight we go. That was a bit close between Hipwell and Hopkins on his super team machine. You can just see here the sort of top end advantage that the 500 has over the super team machine. Dropping now into the chicane, and the top 3 all make it through nicely. So for now then it is Hipwell and Burgess and Trubsall. A bit of a gap 179 in fourth is Billy Perkins, who obviously went down in race 1, wasn't his fault. Taken down by Ryan Meaden. Ryan Meaden is just there having a scrap with James Bailey, that's for 5th place. So as we get to the closing stages of this one, it's the traffic that's up ahead of Hipwell here that I'm most interested in, because there's a couple of bikes that are just up ahead of them and they're not that far off in terms of pace. Hipwell seems to be still in control though.
In the main, they're actually, you know, very well matched, aren't they, for a split start grid. And I mean, obviously, what we're hoping for next year is, well, I'm pretty sure we will probably have a full grid of these guys, and probably, you know, best part of the 3/4 of the grid of super teams. So, in which case, they'll have their own grids.
Well, interestingly, despite going on split starts, the race leader here, Josh Hipwell, is only a 1/10 of a second slower than the super team race leader at the moment. As we see here, Shropsall again just going past Burgess into 2nd place. A good on-board view of what the chicane looks like before making your way onto the start-finish straight here at Donington Park on the national circuit. Currently lapping in the 125s. That's not bad for freshmen, it has to be said. The low 125s, the Thundersport 500 lap record still belongs to Jonathan Perry at 120.8. Around Hollywood and dropping down then into Craner Curves. Burgess just further back there in 3rd. Shropsall in 2nd, trying all he can to cling a 10th here and a 10th there to beat Joshua Hipwell. Just seems to have the edge on these guys at present, as he did in race 1 obviously. On board here again with Shropsall. And now if you look further up you can see Hipwell. He's about to join that traffic I was talking about. It's not slow traffic. They're lapping just a bit slower than...
Makes it all the more difficult though, doesn't it?
It does. Let's see what happens here. They make their way onto the back straight. Now Hipwell is in a position where he can challenge. You can see here just half a lap that Shropsall has closed up on Josh Hipwell.
Has he done them?
No, he's right up ahead of us, isn't he? No, that is a super team in front of us, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
Hipwell
done
has
them,
gone past them. Around... No, that's another 500. That's Burgess, isn't it? So he was catching up Burgess there. Last lap flag is out anyway. There is Hipwell. Still about a 1.5 lead. He should be okay here. Got a couple of the KTM super teams up behind. Up ahead of him. There is Shropsall just going past Cameron Hall, who's one of our Kawasaki super team runners. And in 3rd place is Burgess. 4th then. Sorry, no, that was another 500 that they were lapping. That's why I've got confused. It was number 63 in there.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's getting confused then, Steve.
Tom Parry, yeah. Tom Parry's got his nose in there. Because I saw a 63 and a 53, I was getting most confused. So it was Tom Parry that they were then lapping, another 500 rider. There is Hipwell. He goes past one of the super teams anyway. Should be okay for him here. Shropsall's going to run out of laps onto the back straight. Checker flag is out ready for Josh Hipwell, who will clean up to take a double win here today on the final day of Thundersport GB racing action 2017. Shropsall should be good enough here to take 2nd place, provided he keeps out of trouble. Yep, checker flag is out. Someone's down just on the exit there, but it's not one of the 500s. Burgess is going to take a podium as well. He'll be in 3rd, but the race winner there, then Josh Hipwell, takes the double win ahead of Steve Shropsall and Simon Burgess.
Steve Shropsall and Simon Burgess. Lyndon Leverland finishes 8th on 16. Jake Aldridge, 9th. Cameron 10th.
Results then here, Josh Hipwell wins it by just under 2 seconds from Steve Shropsall. Simon Burgess was in 3rd, Billy Perkins 4th. James Bailey in 5th place, just on the line, finishing ahead of Ryan Mead. And there are your top 3. Hipwell, the race winner. ahead there of Shrubsall and Simon Burgess. And confirmation of the championship standings at the end of this year. Campion, the champion, ahead of Shrubsall, Meaden. Batner still held on to fourth in the end, ahead of Simon Burgess, and Josh Hipwell in 6th place. That's it from us in 2017. Thanks for joining us this season. We'll see you in 2018.